Hello guys. Welcome to Simply How. We are going to learn music theory, so make sure you like, subscribe, and share with your friend, so that you don't miss this free music theory. Okay, now let's jump to our lesson. Music is the art of sound that has the same properties as sound, which are pitch, duration, and loudness. When we talk of pitch, we refer to the perceived highness or lowness of a sound. Musical sound sources, like vocal cords and guitar strings, vibrate at various frequencies. The brain interprets frequency as pitch, so the faster the rate of vibration, the higher the perceived pitch. Pitches combine to form structures, such as melodies and chords. To talk of the duration is the relative length of a sound. And lastly is loudness, which is the relative strength of a sound. All of these properties have a common dimension, which is time. Thus, music is characterized as temporal art. Let me explain more about sound. Sound has another property called tone color, tone quality, or timbre, which, for music, is very important. Although not a fundamental component of sound, it is in fact the result of complex interactions between various pitches, harmonics, durations, and loudnesses over time. Early notated European music was at first associated with Latin words, where the symbols for the pitches with so-called notes were placed on the page along with the text to be sung. The order of the symbols from left to right, like the language, indicates the order in which the sounds were to be produced. The positioning of the notes up or down the page indicated the highness or lowness of the sound. Let us learn about music notation, and we will start with notation of the pitch. In Western music uses the first 7 letters of the alphabet to name the different pitches. The fact that all of our music to be represented by using 7 alphabetical letters is due to the historical evolution of our Western notation system and the nature of the human ear. If you play a pitch near the middle of the piano's range and ask a group of people to sing what has been played, the women and children will sing the pitch that was sounded. But most men will sing a pitch that sounds lower because it has half as many vibrations per second as the sounded pitch. In spite of this obvious difference, almost all listeners will agree that both groups sang the same pitch. For this reason, we are comfortable with using only one letter for both pitches. We accept 2 pitches as being octave equivalents if one has twice as many vibrations as the other. Early Western music, notation and terminology divided pitches into 7 steps. In order to identify each of these pitches, one of the alphabetical letter names A through G was assigned in ascending order to each pitch. When the musical sound that possessed twice as many vibrations as the initial pitch was reached, it proved to be the 8th note. Since it sounded like the first note, it was called by the same letter name as the first note. Because it was the 8th note, its distance from the first note was labeled an octave, from the Greek bass octa or the Latin bass octo, both meaning 8. Though our modern keyboard pitch system now includes 12 separate pitches within an octave and our musical vocabulary possesses even more pitch names, the name octave has not been discarded. This is not a problem. However, as in the study of acoustics or music from other cultures, it can at times become a source of confusion or impediment to accurate communications. Now here is the layout of a modern piano keyboard, with its characteristic grouping of 3 black keys alternating with a group of 2 black keys. Lower pitches are to the left of higher pitches. Note the repetition of the pitch names in each octave. The white keys all have letter names, and each letter name has a unique position in the pattern. Now let me put things clear here. The earliest pitch notations dealt only with what we would identify as typically the white keys on the keyboard. These pitches are the so-called naturals. Pitches that we know as the black keys, or sharps or flats, were sometimes used in early music but were often not notated, implying that the performers knew when to inflect the pitch. Thank you for watching, and that is all for today. See you in the next lesson.